Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and I have a Halloween project for you. And usually I don't do Halloween projects so early, but this year Stampin' Up! Has brought online exclusives that have Halloween products in them. So I'm able to bring them to you a little bit earlier this year. This year we don't have a lot of products for Halloween, so I have to think a little bit outside the box. So I did a coffin box today, which is super cute. And some of you might recognize this box when we were making the this birdhouse box. Some of you said, "Yeah, that shape looks like a coffin," and I saw that too. So I kind of reserved this project to do for Halloween. Now I did do some changes to this box, so please use my measurements for this box and not the ones that I did earlier for the birdhouse box, because I have made this box a teeny tiny bit tighter. It wasn't quite as important with this box, the way it was sitting, and it was just a bigger box. But with the coffin box, I needed it to be tight because I have a surprise element to this box. When you open it, you have a little surprise guy on a little spring. Now, this isn't the best way to open it because usually people will open it like this, right? And the surprise element will be like that. So it sags a bit if I'm holding it up in the air, but it's still super cute. You can kind of see the spring here. So that's what's going to happen when they open the box. You can also put candy in the bottom of this box, like something small, like Hershey's Kisses. There's a lot of little mini Halloween candy, and I have already seen it inside at my local grocery store. So you should be seeing your Halloween candy pretty soon. So I'll show you in a minute how to close this box, but basically you just do this. And you just close it back up. It's very easy. I kept the top of the box really simple. We're going to use some of the things in the Playful Ghost stamp set. We're going to use the Country Birdhouse dies, and we're also going to use the Modern Oval Punch. I don't know if you noticed or not, but my little Dracula ghost was stamped on a label rather than just cut out. So that should be super, super fun. And I'm going to show you how to make that from start to finish. Now remember, I will have a project sheet for you and I will send that out in tomorrow's email, but you need to be on my email list. So check down below in the description of this video to get that link if you're not already on my email list. One other thing, okay, I do have a couple of things going on right now. I have a BOGO sale going on, and the BOGO sale is basically you get my retired products for free with an equal order in my Stampin' Up! Store. You will want to pick the retired product first and email me to make sure it's still available. Sometimes I get it always happens like I'll get like kind of a cluster of emails all at once, and I take the person who has emailed me first and they get first choice, and then I go to the next person, the next person. I do have a lot of products though, so it doesn't always happen that there's overlap, but I want to make sure that I have that product available for you. So if you want to, you can go to my blog. I have a partial link here. Let me put this one up. If you just go to cubiesquest.com, don't do the /join, just cubiesquest.com. It is the second blog post after today's blog post, and you'll first see my BOGO sale instructions. I have a long detailed list of instructions because that's the kind of person I am. I'm a detailed person. But if you pop over where it says BOGO sale products, you'll be able to see all the different things that you can earn for free with an equal order. Go there first and take a look, and then pop back to the sale instructions so you know how to do it. But basically, choose your retired product first, then email me, make sure it's available, wait to hear back from me, and I will send you instructions on how to proceed. And if you have any questions, they're probably going to be answered in the BOGO sale instructions, but I'm also happy to answer any of your questions that you have. What else can I say? If you don't want to participate in my BOGO sale and you are just placing an order this month, I have a special host code that I need you to use for my BOGO sale. That way I can keep everything separate. But if you just want to place an order without being part of my BOGO sale, I have a different host code, and there it is. And if you spend $50 with me this month, then you will be getting the Earth Tones Shimmer Gems sent to you in September. So that is a separate thing. If you participate in the BOGO sale, you will not be getting the Earth Tone Shimmer Gems, but you will be getting a lot of cool product. I've got lots of bundles, punch bundles, stamp sets, and embossing folders this time. And my stamp sets, I've done this over the past few years, just to kind of simplify things. If like a stamp set is worth $24, I've rounded it down to $20. If it's like $18, I've rounded it out to down to $15. So those stamp sets are actually a really good value, some of them, because I've put them into two categories of either $15 or $20. And so you're probably, for most sets, there will be some sets that will be actual $15 and they'll be in the $15 pile, but some of them are actually worth more, up to $19, and I've kind of rounded down. So you'll be getting a lot of stamp set for the price. So you'll be getting, you know, buy one, get one, you're going to be getting double the amount of products for your dollar. So it's a super good deal. It's the 9th year that I've done this, and some people mark their calendars every year to participate in my sale. So anyway, I thought I would just mention that before we get started, and I'm going to pop this away, and I will talk to you all at the end. Thank you so much for being here, and I am going to start showing you how to make this fabulous little box. All right, I have this out here just for comparison's sake, but I also have the instructions still available to make this box. So there's definitely a lot you can do with the country birdhouse dies. Now pop that away from now. Let's take a look at this box one more time. So when you open it, you've got this little spring guy. It's kind of fun. That he kind of springs out. There is the spring. We're going to make one of these. You may recognize the spring. I have done a spring box before, but you can use this spring for many different things, and it's always neat to see how things can come together. See, I put this on the modern oval punch. That way I can get the boo on there. This stamp set does not come with a coordinating die set, so by punching it out, you're going to save yourself from having to fussy cut it out. So I thought this would be a good use of this punch. And just so you know, I checked this morning, wanted to make sure it was available, because this punch has been on back order a lot. I don't know why. I guess it's super popular. To me, it's just like a very simple punch, but I guess there's a lot of people that use this punch, and it has been on back order a lot, and now it's on low inventory again. I can't believe it. So if you haven't picked up this punch yet, and you need it, just keep that in mind when you're placing your order. Okay. Let's get started, and I'll show you how to make this box from start to finish. You're going to start off with, we're going to score some strips, and I'm going to grab my Simply Scored because that's the easiest way to score these. And I apologize in advance. Hopefully you'll be able to see my scoring. Black is a terrible color. I'm going in and out of focus here. Black is a terrible color for demonstrating, just because it is so dark, but I've got a lot of light coming in from my big window here today, so hopefully we'll be able to see everything really well. Okay, so let me get started. This piece is 10 1/4 by 1 3/4. Let's start off first on the short side, and we're going to score at the 1/4 inch mark. This one's a hard score mark for me because it's very close to the edge, but let's do it. We'll come down, and then I'm going to switch my hands. You want to make sure your cardstock stays right against the edge. Okay, hopefully you can see this here. I'm going to put the 1/4 inch side to the top, so that skinny side, we're going to put that towards the top, and then we're going to score at the 1/4 inch mark again, the 1 1/2 inch mark, the 4 1/4 inch mark, the 5 7/8 inch mark, and the 7 1/2 inch mark. Okay, this will be for the lid of the box. And then we're going to take another strip, and this one measures 10 inches by 1 3/4. This is the one that I altered from the other birdhouse box that I did, because in order to get this box to be tight enough, it needs to be tight enough. Otherwise, this little guy is going to try and push up the lid of your box. So this has to have a certain amount of tightness in order for that not to happen. So, okay, so we're going to start with 10 inches by 1 3/4. We'll score at the 1/4 inch mark again. I hope I didn't say 1 1/4 last time. It's at the 1/4 inch mark that we need to score, 1/4 inch mark. And then turn this again to the top, and we'll score at the 1/4 inch mark again. This time we're also going to score at the 1 1/2 inch mark, the 4 1/8 inch mark. You know what? I need to make sure my microphone is over here. Hopefully that's better. I had shoved it away. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay, so let's start again. 1/4 inch, 1 1/2, 4 1/8, 5 3/4, and 7 3/8. Okay, scoring is done. Let's put this away. We'll grab our paper snips. So right here, you're going to see on both of these, you're going to have a little square on the corner right there. We're going to snip that away on an angle to kind of create little tabs. Can you see that? It's a little bit more than the square. And then we're going to do, on the short side, we're going to cut little V's at all the score intersections. Let me see. I will have a diagram for you. Okay, I'm trying to see so you can see my score line coming down here. So you can do this, you can turn them as you go along. Last week when I was doing that circle box, I did, I'll do that on the second one so you can show me. I did all the angles, the same angles at the same time to make it easier. But this one we've got a few less V's to cut, and then I'm going to cut here, that on an angle. Move this aside. So that's what it looks like. So we'll do the same for the other strip. Cut away this and cut away that. And so if you want to, you can cut like this, all on the same angle. Sometimes it's faster because you're not having to move your scissors. And then we'll come along here, cut this one, and then we'll cut, 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 and cut. I don't know. I don't know what's faster. Someone would need to time me, but, or time yourself, but that's basically how you prep them. And I will have a diagram for you so that will make it easier. Okay, let's start. I'm trying to decide, yeah, let's go ahead and fold these along the score line and get them ready for the dies, because we're going to still have to do a little bit of die cutting before we keep going. So let's get these prepped as far as we need to go before we put those end pieces on. So I'm going to take the longer one and I'm going to just fold along these score lines for now, not the bottom score lines, not these little ones, but all of these ones like that. And I'm going to just glue that tab to this side here. So I'm going to take my glue and I'll put it along here. Now this isn't symmetrical. Well, it is symmetrical, but it's I can't flatten it, so I have to glue this in the air. So the easiest way I found to get this to be straight and perfect is I'm going to bring this together and I'm going to pinch this in the air so you can kind of see. That way I can line up this edge with the score line perfectly and pinch it down so that I've got a really nice good seal. It also allows me to make sure that this top edge is lined up, because you want that edge to be really nice and, you know, even. And then you can just let that go and you can see how nice and even that is when you do it that way. So that is the bigger of the two. So I'll just put that aside for a second. And now we're going to do the smaller one. And again, we're going to come here. We're going to put glue on that end right there. A teeny tiny bit more glue. This is, I like to make my tabs a little bit larger usually, but a 1/4 inch is like the minimum size I'm going to ever make a tab. I like to do them about 3/8 of an inch, but for better adhesion, but it's kind of neater if you just do a 1/4 inch tab. You just have to make sure that things are lining up well. All right, so you see I just did that same thing again. I'm just pinching that one end. All right. Okay, it is time for us to do a little die cutting. I'm going to do one thing first though. I'm going to do the die cutting for the top part of the box too. So I'm going to take my little trick or treat stamp. And we're just going to ink it up and stamp it down. So the Playful Ghost stamp set, let me just show it to you real quick. Here it is. And at first when I looked at it, I didn't quite get it, but now I do. These little ghosts are pretending to be a Dracula. This one's hiding in a pumpkin, and this one's pretending to be a witch. And I didn't see that at first until I started working with the stamp set. Didn't look at it very closely. So those are really cute. The other cute thing in the stamp set are the words. Normally with stamp sets, we don't have, like Halloween stamp sets, sometimes we don't have the words that we need. We have all 3 words that we need, or expressions that we need for Halloween. We have Happy Halloween, we have Trick or Treat, and Boo. Those are the trifecta of greetings. The other thing that I like about the stamp set, and even if you don't like the other images, these are small and they will always be good for putting little labels onto your Halloween 3D things. Like these are nice and small, so they really did a good job for this, in my opinion, for what I need the stamp set to do. So I just wanted to point that out. So it's nice to have that little trick or treat because you can punch it out really small or die cut it out really small. And then we've got the boo for the inside, or we could have done Happy Halloween on the outside as well. But I like this one. You know why I like this one? Trick or treat. Trick, when you open it up, there's that ghost Dracula that pops out. So that's kind of a trick. And then you can also put candy in here, which will be your treat. So it's kind of like perfect in my mind for that purpose. Okay, let's get out our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. I'm using the mini today because everything will fit through here that I'm using today. So I'm going to lay this out, and as always, I'm going to tell you that my machine is tight. And it tells you to use the number 1 plate, but for my machine that's too tight. It might also be for your machine. So you'll just have to see when you get it, if you are getting this. You can also use a regular Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You don't need to have the mini, but if you don't have a die cutting machine and you want an entry-level machine, this is a little smaller. It won't do everything, but it is kind of, you know, like a taster of what the bigger die cutting machine will do. It's also a great portable machine if you're going traveling, and it's kind of nice to have this on my desk too. So I've got the number 3 plate, which I'm using instead of the number 1 plate. I'm using a clear plate on the bottom, and then I'll put the clear plate on the top as well. So we'll grab our little trick or treat, and we're going to use this stylish shape stamp set. We're going to grab the smallest circle, and I've got a little bit of this. I'm going to grab this Post-it labeling and cover up tape, and I'm just going to anchor this. So when I'm doing this, I am trying to center this as good as possible because I'm going to be cutting, it looks like I'm going to be cutting off some T's, but really I'm not. I'm just, there's a little bit more to the circle than is shown. So we're just going to do that. I'm just going to hold this up so you can kind of see. It looks like I'm cutting off part of the T. Let's see how good I did. See, it looks pretty good, right? It's perfect for my purposes. Okay, we're also going to cut a label and the second largest circle. Let me grab so you can see. So the second largest circle, second smallest circle. That's what I mean. Second smallest circle. And we're going to grab the smallest banner die, and we're going to also cut those. Let's crank that through. All right. Put these back right away on my magnet sheet so that I don't lose them. All right, so we're going to take these and set those aside. And then we need to cut some birdhouses. And here's what you get with the birdhouse dies. I just need this piece right here. And we're going to need 2 of them. Oh, I hope I can fit this through. I may have cut this, just let me just snip this a little bit shorter. So the width of this, the maximum width you can put through here is 3 3/8. And my cardstock I cut to 3.5, but this will fit. I'm just gonna go ahead and put my second clear plate on top. And we're gonna run this through. Don't worry if it makes that horrible noise. That's what happens when the die presses in, especially with the big dies. So you're going to cut yourself 2 of these, and I've got my second die right here, die cut already there. And we'll go ahead and just pop this away. I think I've cut everything that I need. Let's put the little machine away. All right. I'm gonna grab these pieces. We get to do some cutting. This is really easy actually. So I'm just going to take my scissor and I'm going to line it up on that edge and I'm going to cut. And since I'm lining it up on my edge, it's going to cut exactly the way I needed it to cut. See, I'm like lining it up. The scissors actually touching that edge and I'm going to snip. Okay. And then I'm going to come to the other side and snip. Okay. We'll do the same for up top here. Line it up. Hopefully my husband is going to take care of the doorbell. Good. I think we are getting a delivery or something. We are doing a bathroom renovation and there is stuff being delivered all the time, supplies and things. So snip and snip and snip and snip. So just make sure, I don't know if you can see this, I'm lining right up with the edge, so I'm maintaining this line straight up. Okay, so we'll scoot that away. So we've got our 2 top and bottom pieces, and we're going to take, I'm hoping this is the bigger of the 2. How can I tell? Let's see. I'm going to stick them inside each other. Okay, I'm going to take the bigger one first, and I'm going to fold down these end pieces. And the thing I found the most helpful when I'm attaching the top and bottom to these side pieces is I'm going to start down here at the bottom and I'm going to adhere that bottom tab of the coffin box first, and I'm going to get that really nice and set, and then I'm going to glue the other ones. That way I know one side is staying in place and is not going to shift on me. So get that first one situated. And press down. Press, 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 press. And I just want to hold that for a few seconds because I do not want this to move after I've done it. So it is like right on the edge. I know black cardstock's really hard to see, but it is like right on the edge, right where the score line is. Okay, so now that I've done that, I can put glue on the rest of this and then I can wrangle these tabs into place. So let me just bend that back so you can see. So I'm going to come along here and here and here and here. Whoops, and I just hit my microphone. And then I'm going to just kind of shape this in the way of the bottom. So let's get that top point kind of right there. And situated. And this one over here on this side. And situated. I'm just wondering what is being delivered right now because I hear the garage door being opened. I wonder if our vanity arrived. It must be something really big. We're also getting doors shipped. Doors. I have like 5 doors coming for this reno project. I know it sounds insane, but we're moving closets, so I have to move my doors as well. But I know they're not coming today because they're in transit. So I'm imagining it is our vanity, which I had no idea it was arriving today. So that's always very interesting. Okay, so there is the top of the box. It looks wonderful. So we're going to now attach the bottom part. Okay. So this little bottom part, I'm going to do the same thing. The bottom width of this is the same as the bottom on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach it right to the bottom the same way as I did with number 1. We're going to go like this and press. Press on that and just hold it. Hold, hold, hold. Okay, good. So now we're going to take this and we're going to put it inside the top. So that way it's going to have the same exact shape, right? And we'll just take this and we're going to go along here and put the glue in place. Okay, now we're going to fold this down. And you're just going to kind of see, okay, I'm going to feel with my fingers to make sure that this is in the same correct spot. I'm pushing down just along the edge just to start getting that to adhere. You don't want to like put too much pressure on it because it is a box. And let's do this. This. Okay. Now carefully start to slide this out. Okay. Then press again from this inside. Make sure it's really stuck in place. But now we can press down with our finger along the seams rather than like crushing the box with the weight. Okay, so just do that. And voila, you've got your little box ready to go. All right, so let's do the spring next. The spring. We're going to take 4 pieces of basic white cardstock. If you wanted to, you could probably do this in black cardstock as well. I feel like this black cardstock's a little bit thicker though, so your spring might be a little higher if you do the black, and that might put a little bit extra, too much height, and it might press your box up too much. So right now I'm recommending doing it with basic white. If you want to do it with basic black, you might have to shorten your spring a little bit, do it a little bit shorter so that you don't have too much tension. So this is regular basic white, not the thick basic white, the regular basic white, just so you know what I am using. Okay, we're going to take these two of these strips and we're going to glue them together. And I'm going to actually try and match up these strips. You want to make sure, if possible, that they're like almost all the same width. It's weird how you can cut a 1/2 inch width and you can be like a 1/32 off, and it will just not be exactly the same width. So I'm just going to take about that much, about 1/2 inch of glue, and I'm just going to overlap these by about 1/2 inch. Okay, and don't worry, you don't have to be exact on this because we're cutting off the excess, and this is not an exact science. The spring is not an exact science, but you're just going to glue so you have one big long strip, and we'll do the same for this one. We're going to have 2 long strips. I'm going to overlap them. I think basic white also folds really well. So this regular basic white, because it's not as thick as some of our other cardstock, so it kind of makes it nice during the folding process. We're going to glue this into a big L shape, an L shape. Okay, so now you're going to come down here, do the same thing, put glue here. This is not hard, by the way. I'm making it look hard, but it is not hard at all. Once I oh, you know what? You know, I'm gonna, I should have glued this. I should have glued this. Oh, I can flip it. Okay, I put glue on the bottom here. So this strip, the one that is going up, let that one be on the bottom, and you're just gonna glue this bottom one on top of there, because this is going to be easier to teach you if I do it the way I originally did it, if I try and mess it up. So this bottom part of the L goes on top. The reason why is you're always going to be, the strip that is on the bottom is the one that gets folded each time. So if you did it the opposite way, it's okay. Just remember, the bottom strip is the one that always gets folded. Okay, so it really doesn't matter. I'm just going to do it in the same way I did it the first time, and that way it just makes sense to me. So you can see this part of the L is on the top and this part is on the bottom. So we're going to fold over right along the edge like that, and then we're going to fold like that. Always the strip on the bottom gets folded to the top. And you're just going to fold over. I keep spinning it. This is the way I like to do it. Just keep turning and turning and turning. So this is going to take a while. You're just going to keep going, but you're building a super cool pop-up element, a spring, if you will. So this is not hard. You can teach your kids to do this if you don't want to make these. I think it does help a little bit if you know, try and keep them a little bit square when you're going along. But you just keep going and going. I love the way that this turns out at the end, where you have that little character coming out of the box that says boo. And it's not super scary or anything. It's not like this thing comes right out of the box and freaks you out. It's just, I wonder if we could do that on a future one. Who knows? Okay, so I'm coming close right now to where the seams are. So I'm just going to keep going, and some of this might look This one looks a little weird. Just keep going. Just don't even worry about it. The seams will just get folded in. See, this one's getting folded in. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. Keep on swimming. Be like Dory. Keep swimming. Keep swimming. You'll get there eventually. This is cool because it's something that you can actually make. My spring is twisting a little bit. That's okay because, oops, see, you can see the spring is happening already. So it's okay if it twists a bit. There's gonna be a natural tendency for it to twist a little bit. That's okay because it's gonna be fun when it comes out of the box. Okay, so if you do that, if you lose control of your spring, then you're just going to push it back down and then just keep going, and just keep remembering that you're always folding that bottom one over, always the bottom. And that way, even if you lose control and your spring goes wonkers, you can just continue on, getting closer to the end. And I'll show you what we have to do at the end. There is a little instruction once we get to the end. I have glue on my fingers because I have glue on this bottom one, and I just, yeah, because I wanted to glue it in the opposite way. Okay, we're almost done. Getting close to the end. My other one didn't twist this much, so every spring is going to be a little different, but don't let that worry you. Okay, so we're getting close to the end. And okay, so you see I don't have a full width to glue onto the top anymore, and when you see that, you're going to stop and you're going to take the last one that will actually cover the full width of the spring, and you're going to put glue on where it's going to come over top, and we're going to glue that spring down. And this one was almost the right width, but it was a little bit short. It's not quite a square, so that's why we're going to stop there. And then you're just going to take your paper snips and you're going to cut off the excess. Okay, so you're going to have like a little square top and a little square bottom, and that's where the adhesive has stuck to my fingers and it looks gross, but that's going to come down, and voila, there is your cute little spring. You can throw these excess pieces away. All right, so need to make sure we have the right side of the box. Okay. All right, so for this spring, I am going to glue this right down in the center, as close to the center as possible. And we'll do that now so it can have a little time to set up. So I'm just kind of keeping it down. So kind of right where everything converges, like where these points all converge, kind of in that center part, and I'm just pressing it down. Do 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 do. Okay, and once I feel like it's had some time to set up, I'm going to let go, and we'll just leave that, and we'll just let it just really solidify before we play with it more. And we'll set that aside and we'll finish the top of the box. Let's do that. Let's do that right now. So for the top of the box, we're going to take this little guy, Trick or Treat, and we're going to glue it to the banner first. So I'm putting a little dot of glue on that banner, and I'm going to try and get this on here straight. Somewhat. Maybe it would have been better if I had glued the banner to the bigger circle first, but in any case, you're going to glue all three of these together, and then I'm going to put a little bit more glue right in the center of here, and we're going to glue this down here. Okay, and then I thought it'd be fun if I took a little bit of baker's twine and I made an itty bitty bow. This is the baker's twine I use. I think I used it on Tuesday as well. The baker's twine essential pack, and it comes in 5 different neutral colors. Baker's twine, I love it on projects because it is not overwhelming for your project. It's just the little bit of pizzazz without stealing the show. So I'm putting a little bit of glue, and I'm going to put my knot, the baker's twine, right into the glue. And I'm going to hold it there for a few seconds, and then I'm going to lift off. And baker's twine, I feel, does hold, Tombow does hold the baker's twine pretty well in place. It's the only type of bow that I would glue down with this, like a very thin piece of twine or linen thread is the only thing I like to glue down with glue. If any other ribbon, I would use a different type of adhesive. So we're just going to take this now and flip it over and put glue on the back. And we'll take this, we'll just kind of decide, let's make it the same as this one because I like to do things the same. And if I was making a lot of these, I would try and have them uniform so that when I had them on display, they would look really cute together. Okay. Hold. Okay, then we're going to take some of these sparkly gems. These are adhesive backed sparkle gems. Their name gives it away. And I like these black ones, but you could use, I think any of these would work on here. Like you could even use these ones because they're coppery, but they would look good with the orange that I chose. But I'm going to use black. We'll go ahead and grab some of these black ones. They're so sparkly and fun. We'll grab one more and we'll put one more up here. That way it kind of like, it adds like a little sparkle. So I just, because the top is a little bit plain, I still think it looks good because, you know, it doesn't need a lot because the inside is where you're going to really want to, you know, have everything that's important, right? Okay. So now we're going to add a little bit of an element to the inside. So I wanted to show you, I did do, let's open this up. I wanted to show you the other 2 ghosts could also be on the inside on that same label punch. And this is how I would do them, just to, you know, just keep it simple. This one I would do as a, you know, little orange, and this one I would add, you know, different ones. So, but I'm going to go back to doing this little guy because I do like the way everything fits on there. So let's show you how to do him or her. Could be a girl ghost, right? I don't know. Just ink this up. I've got my stamp on a D block, and I'll just stamp that one down there, and I'll grab my little boo because that's really appropriate for the inside there, and we'll grab our punch and we'll just kind of center this inside the punch. So that makes it really easy. You don't have to cut anything out by hand this way. But you could if you wanted to. You could, absolutely. So if we're going to color, I'm just going to use Highland Heather, and I'll outline the cape. I like to use purple for the cape to add a little bit of color rather than just going with black. And also these are cute little ghosts. They're playful ghosts. They're not like really sinister ghosts or anything. So just to kind of I'm doing just a super fast job. And there's a little bit of robe over here and over here and then down into here. And you don't necessarily have to color this if that is not your jam. Leave it black and white. You could. It doesn't need to be colored. But I don't mind coloring with Stampin' Blends. They're kind of fun to color with. Okay. And I also outlined my ghost in Smoky Slate. Oh, here it is. You don't have to do this. Like, you don't have to, but I did. Just to give him a little shadow. Okay. That's it. That's all the coloring I did on that one. Okay, so you choose. You can put different ones inside. You know what? Shall we do the boo one over here? Since I have this one. We'll do the boo. This one's kind of a more fun-loving one. So for this, you're just gonna kind of center it. It's probably going to be glued right about here on the back side where the face is. Oh no, I don't want to put the glue there. I want to put the glue here. My mistake. Put the glue on here. That way you know exactly where it's going to go. And you're going to maybe just hold this down. This back. Can land it towards the face. Might be able to do a better job of this than me. You could actually, you can kind of hold up the spring too. And then once you've got that going, you can like press it all the way down and then hold it for a little bit. Do, 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 do. Who has the timer on? Okay, that should be good. So there is the other one. They're cute. Spring wobble there. Okay, so if you wanted to, you could grab some kisses. And I would kind of put these in around the spring kind of strategically. And kind of, you know, fill it. Then you can still press this down and give it a close. You don't want it to interfere with the spring too much. So when you're closing this box, you're just going to grab this. That label's going to stick in the top, and then you're going to go ahead and close it. I got a big bag of kisses off to the side. There's always kisses at my place. For kiss emergencies, because I'm always doing things with these guys. And then we're just going to close this. Just take it, and that label just needs to be in the top, and then give it a little close. There they are. All ready. All done. And then 1, 2, 3. Oh, lift off. Okay, this one didn't spring quite as nicely because it's got a little bit too many kisses in it. But once the kisses are gone, the spring is still going to work really cool and fun. So they're just super, super cute. Cute boxes. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this little box. Boingy, 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 boingy. All right. Well, I hope some of you make that. It could be super super cute for Halloween parties or little classroom treats. And you know what? You don't actually have to put anything inside it either. It could just be a fun box to give people. We don't always have to give candy, although it's nice and everyone loves candy, but we don't have to. It could be a non-candy fun box, right? It could just be a fun surprise box, and that could be really cute to do. I'm wondering, would this fit inside a cellophane bag? I don't, inside one of these. I'm just gonna do this off the side here. I didn't check. Sometimes things fit into our clear envelopes, and I don't know if this one will or not. Always fun to check, and if it works, I will show you. And slide it in. Slidey, 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 slidey. So, you know, because sometimes we like to give these out on Halloween. So, I think you could kind of finagle it, but it wouldn't look pretty, but it would fit inside of one of these. So if you did want to hand them out so that they would be kind of preserved, you could do that, but it's probably not the prettiest way to, you know, cellophane wrap them, but they are just a super nice box on their own. And you can have them, if you want to, you can have them stand up too, like so that they're standing like this. The closure on this one is, it's not tight, but it's snug, and it needs to be that because of the spring mechanism. It needs to have that snug fit. So that's why I redesigned the bottom of the box so that it was a better fit for everything. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that video. I'm gonna chat with you all in a second, but if you enjoyed this video and you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you did that. That way you can see more of the 3D things I come up with on Fridays. And if you want to get notified when I'm going live, hit that notification bell and you'll get a notification from YouTube when I'm going live. If you liked this video, I would love it if you gave me a thumbs up or leave me a comment down below. I appreciate all of them, and they make me smile. And they make me feel like maybe someone out there is making my projects and giving it to someone else, and that will make the world just a little bit better of a place. And I love that. We all need some little happies given to us, right? Okay, my back of my shoulder blade since Wednesday has been giving me a little bit of trouble. So sorry if I'm like putting pressure on it. I need to go put like I'm trying not to take any pain medication for it. I don't even know what I did to it, but I probably slept on it funny. That's usually what happens. At this age, you injure yourself by sleeping or sitting funny, right? That's the weird thing. So anyway, I'm just trying to get it in a comfortable position so that I can talk to you. And while I was demonstrating, it did not bother me. And right now it is like driving me crazy. Okay, so I'll say hello to all of you. Hello, Lisa from Nebraska. Hello, Nancy from Maryland. Hello, Valerie from Illinois, and Mary from Indiana, and Deborah from Virginia Beach, and Vera Blue from Missouri, and Dee from Kansas City. Hello, Marty from Pittsburgh. Hello, Janine. Marty says, it's so ingenious, the box. Well, thank you so much. Good morning, Margot from California. Hello, Kim from Edmonton. Nice to have a Canadian here. Hello, Janine from Utah. We've got two Janines on here this morning. Hello, Nina. Nina says, give a thumbs up, everyone. Thank you, Nina. Hello, Marge from Connecticut and Linda from New Mexico. Good morning, Mary. We've got a couple Marys on here this morning, too. Hello, Linda from Oregon. Denise says, great idea for a Halloween treat box. Linda says, you have such a great imagination, Brenda. You see things I never see. Aw, well, thank you. I love that. Yeah, I sometimes I feel like every week I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? I feel like one day my well will run dry, and it hasn't so far, and I'm very grateful for that. And I just keep creating and playing around, and all of you can do that too. You just need to give yourself permission to play and give yourself permission to make a bunch of prototypes of stuff that don't work. I probably, for every project that I make, there's one that I don't make because it just didn't work out. And then maybe that project that didn't work out becomes the inspiration for another project that does work out. So you just never know, right? So give yourself permission to play in your craft room and play and learn. You know, not everything's going to work out, but the things that do work out will really be surprising and fun. So that's basically what I do each week. Louise says, late to the party, looks cool though. I'm glad you think it looks cool. I'm just keeping, I'm reading. There's some personal comments and I'm going to skip those. Okay, Marty asks, question, is the top of the spring level with the top of the box? If it is, could you get a stamping block on top when it finishes up drying? So when the spring is pushed all the way down, it is not level. It is a bit lower than the box. I think it, just as long as you're using the Tombow and you're holding it there for a few seconds, it's going to be good. I probably am erring on the side of overdoing it. So seriously, I would not even worry about it. I just hold it there for a few seconds and it should be good. It's pretty solid in there. Tombow really does love to stick. So I've tried to take it apart before sometimes, and my one of my team members told me this trick of using the heat tool, and then you can use to warm up the spot, and then you use the spatula on your pick tool to pry something off, and that really does work. But Tombow is not that easy to take apart. Like once you've glued something with Tombow, unless you heat it up and you like spatula it, it's usually going to stick there pretty well. Okay, let's keep going. Mary said the ghosties are so cute. They are. Janine says cute box. Louise says love these. I got a bunch of hearts from Very Beautiful Papercrafts. Mary says super cute and have a good weekend. Thank you, Mary. Marty says love them. Louise says chocolate has its own line item in her budget. That's funny. I love that. Chocolate is sometimes a business expense for me if I'm buying it for my business and papercrafting, which is kind of a weird thing to have as a business expense, right? Mary says she does not have the stamp set, but sure, she could use another Halloween stamp. Absolutely. You will need the birdhouse, the country birdhouse dies for this. So make sure you have that because that's the top and the bottom of the box. So you'll need those. And I do really love this punch that has been unavailable for a while. I'm mirroring stuff. This is the modern oval punch, and that's nice because whatever Halloween image you want to stamp, you can punch it out and you can have a greeting on there for the inside too, which I think makes it really nice. But I got the Halloween stamp sets out of the online exclusives because those are the only Halloween products we're gonna have this year. I think we might be getting a bit of paper in September, but as far as stamp set goes, that's it. We've got a haunted house project kit, and that's on, it's unavailable right now, but I'm hoping it will be back in stock before Halloween. So we've got that, but we were a little bit limited this year. I do like Playful Ghosts though, because of those small greetings. They and also the ghosties are so cute. They really are. Those greetings are so useful when you're crafting, 3D crafting for Halloween. You don't know how many times I've had to look to find a greeting in Halloween stamp sets, and this one has all three that I use a lot: Trick or Treat, Happy Halloween, and Boo. I already said that, but I can't say it enough. Those are my go-to greetings, and I love having them all in one stamp set. So that is wonderful. Totally worth getting the stamp set just for those greetings alone. Nancy says, one year I had a sheet of gum in a cute folder with ribbons, and I found about 90% of the empty folders on the lawn the next morning. Ah, well, you know what, Nancy? I think you have to decide, first of all, like who you're giving it to. If you're giving it to this would not be the best thing to give trick-or-treaters. You might want to do this at like a class party, a Halloween party. You know, you have to kind of choose your audience or your friends. Like, you know, if you belong to a group and you do little cute things for your friends when you go, like maybe a bunko group or a knitting group or whatever, that would be the right place to spend some time and make something, because people will then have time to appreciate. Trick-or-treaters generally won't have time to appreciate those little tiny details and things like that. But then the other flip side of it is I don't stress too much about what happens to my item once it leaves my hands, because it is paper crafting. You know, people don't always have the same appreciation that we all do. So, you know, there will be some that won't appreciate the skill and the cuteness involved in all of that, and we just need to let it go, because this paper crafting should be a happy thing, and we're going to always reach some people that love it. And I'm very grateful that I have people in my life that do appreciate it, you know, and appreciate my designs. And I'm going to get a little tearful now, because when I was cleaning up my mom's place before we got it ready for sale, I found like a box with all the cards that I had made her. And, you know, I couldn't keep everything, but I spread them all out on the floor and I took a picture of them. And I just thought she loved all of these so much that she wanted to keep them. And I know my mother-in-law does too, and my mother-in-law is still alive, yay. But when I saw my mom, and like, you will reach those people that really appreciate it and really know the love that went in there. And so you're going to have some hits and misses, but don't let those... Now I'm going to grab a tissue. Excuse me. But you're going to have... I shouldn't be tearful on a Happy Halloween spring box design, but we're going to find those people that really, really appreciate us, right? And so let's try and hit those people, and let's not worry about the other ones. Okay, Nancy, I didn't mean for that comment to go off on a tangent, but this is what you get at the end of the video. So hopefully those people that don't want to hear anything about my personal life have left by now and are not being dragged into my tearful memory. But it was a happy memory too, right? A very, very happy memory, and just goes to show you that I did touch her life with what I was doing. So, yay. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Marty says to Louise, chocolate is life. That's funny. Marge says, my projects are so fun and so crafty and so very useful. Nancy said, so sorry about my shoulder. She needs both shoulders replaced and she's not looking forward to that at all. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is a recent thing, and I think it is just, I think it's probably a lot of things. Like, I don't know. I have to figure out how I injured myself, but I know I'm going to get it back. I try, what I do is I walk every day. I keep it moving. I'm going to keep heat on it. I'm trying not to take too much pain medication. And I think by next week it will be fine. I just need to like not do what I'm doing with it, and it just, when I'm moving it's fine. When I'm holding it still, after about a minute it starts to like, I don't know, it starts to pull on me. So hopefully it will be done. And I'm sorry that you need shoulder surgery. That sucks. All right. Hello, Deborah from Pennsylvania. And I'm sorry, I got tearful. I hope you're still here. I did have a great project. I showed how to do it, so you're going to have to watch the replay. Very beautiful Papercraft says, such a cute box. Oh, and she's from the UK. How wonderful that you're here. I love seeing people from different countries. Marge said she found out that the Kit Kat birthday cake candy bar fits perfectly in the easel card box from last week. No way. I wouldn't have even thought that would fit. Wow, that's great. Awesome. That's a great new use for that box then. Lovely. Oh, and Marge said she received her holiday mini catalog yesterday. Well, I sent those all out to my customers who opted in for them. And if you're still waiting for yours, just know that it should arrive sometime in August, but you can't even order from it until September. So just so you know that. All right. Nancy says she didn't mean to get me upset. Actually, it's a good thing. You know, it's good that there are people that appreciate us, and there's going to be people that don't appreciate us. So it is all good. No, it's okay to cry, right? It is. Thank you, Denise, for the hugs. Marty's sending me hugs. Denise sending me peace. Thank you. Marge says treasured memories. Absolutely. And Louis says her mom says everything she makes. Lots of very stale Hershey's Kisses projects. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love that. Kay says that I'm a lovely person inside and out. Not to mention how talented you are. Aw, thank you, Kay. That's really sweet. Love your cards and projects. Thank you for inspiring me always. Aw, how sweet is that? March says cold is better than heat. Really? Maybe, but for my body, if I put something cold on my back, my body would seize up. I am cold a lot of the time, so I need heat, and heat seems to work for me. So I don't know. I've never been a big fan of cold, except if I have a bruise, which I'll tolerate it for that, but. Thank you for the tip, though. And thank you, everyone, for being here with me today and watching my project. I hope you get a chance to make it. The project sheet will come out tomorrow. Don't forget to check out my BOGO sale. You might see something that you want to get, and then you're going to get that product free with an equal purchase in my Stampin' Up! Store. So it's such a great deal. I've got lots of bundles. I think the biggest category this time is die bundles. I really made a big push on the punch bundles last year. So this year it's like a lot of die bundles, $15 and $20 stamp sets. And remember, those are super great value. And I've got some $8 embossing folders, lots of embossing folders too. So check it out. And let me know as soon as you have some things that you want. Just shoot me an email and let me double check that everything is still available. I periodically throughout the day update my website so that it has little labels that say taken. If it says taken, it's gone. So I've been trying to do that pretty consistently. Louise says cold can reduce inflammation. Oh my gosh. Don't want to put cold on my back. We feel cold, but for some reason the heat seems to feel really, really good on it. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll have to listen to you guys and check it out. I'll do some reading on it. All right. Thank you, Marty. She says it's a great project. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you next week on Tuesday and Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on YouTube. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.